It's Auntie Gifty once again, and as always, I welcome you to the Great Victory Land virtual class. I believe you are all doing well and you are having a nice day. Today, we're going to treat the subject English language, and the topic we're going to do is going to be under questions and answers. Are you good to go? Good. All right. So you're going to first pick that of questions. And then we are hoping that under questions today, by the end of the lesson, the students will be able to 1. Identify a question sentence. Identify a question sentence. 2. Know the kinds of questions. Know the kinds of questions. And then 3. Know how to answer questions using correct answers. Know how to answer questions using correct answers. Good. So now let's move to the main lesson. Now our question for the day is, what is a question? What is a question? A question is a form of sentence or statement which requires an answer. So you see, anytime you ask a question, you are expecting to get an answer. For example, if I'm to ask you, how are you? I know definitely there's going to be an answer or a response by saying, I am fine. So what I asked was a question, and then the response you gave me was an answer. Now let's look at how you can identify a question sentence. You can identify a question sentence because all questions end with a question mark. So if you see any sentence ending with a question mark, it is a question sentence. So today I hope you know what a question sentence is, and you can identify one if you come across it. Good. Let's carry on. Now let's look at these examples. 1. Have you eaten? Have you eaten? 2. Is Joshua your friend? Is Joshua your friend? 3. Do you have a pen? Do you have a pen? Now you can see that all these 3 sentences end with a question mark. All these 3 sentences end with a question mark. So you see, this is a confirmation that in order to be able to identify a question sentence, you should look out for the question mark. Good. So now you know this. Let's move on. Another question for you. Is it important to ask questions? Is it important to ask questions, or we should never ask questions? We should never ask questions. Let's see whether it is important or not. If it is, why? And if it isn't, then why? So yes, we are supposed to ask questions because it is important. Now, why is it important? Asking questions helps motivate students' curiosity about something like a topic, or to know or get answer to something they ask. Let's go over again. Yes, it is important to ask questions. And why? Asking questions help motivate students' curiosity about something like a topic, or to know or get answer to something they ask. So you see, it is very important. It is very important to ask questions, because as a child or a student, the more you ask questions, the more answers you get. And the more answers you get, the more you build on your knowledge. So you see, any answer you get, add up to what you know. Any answer you get, add up to what you know. Also, when you ask questions, it also confirms an answer or something you already know. If you don't ask this question, how do you get to confirm that what you know is correct or wrong? So you see that asking questions are very, very, very important. All right, good. Now let's look at the kinds of questions. There are two kinds of questions. They are one, positive question. One, positive question. Two, negative question. Two, negative question. Now let's look at them one after the other. What is a positive question? A positive question is a kind of question that has a yes or no answer. That has a yes or no answer, just like that. It comes with a straight sentence and you just answer by saying either yes or no. Let's look at examples of a positive question. Examples: 1. Have you eaten? Have you eaten? And you can answer by saying yes, I have, or no, I haven't. 2. Do you like oranges? Do you like oranges? The answer is yes, I do, or no, I do not. No, I do not. 3. Is she at home? Is she at home? And you answer by saying yes, she is, or no, she is not. So you see that throughout the answers, the verbs in the sentences were repeated. The verbs in the sentences were repeated in the answers. So in the first question, we have. We have in the question. And then coming to the answer, you can see the have repeated there as well. The second one, we can see do in the question. And looking at the answer, you see that it has also been repeated again. In number 3, we also see is. And we can see that it has been repeated again in the answer. So you see, this tells you that the verbs in the sentence matters or are very important when writing your answer. I hope you understand. Good. Now let's carry on. We move on to negative question. Negative question. A negative question is a question which is framed in such a way that requires for either a no as a response or yes response. I take it again. A negative question is a question which is framed in such a way that requires for either a no as response or yes response. It mostly has not, as in N apostrophe T, added to the auxiliary and main verbs. Added to the auxiliary and main verbs. Now let's look at examples of such verbs. We have 1, have. Number 2, we have has. 3, we have had. 4, we have is. 5, we have do. Now, in addition to all these verbs, you see that they added not. N-O-T, not. You see that the not has been added to these verbs. Now, after it has been added, we get to see that the final verb becomes haven't, with the N apostrophe T added to it. Now the apostrophe there stands for the O in between the N and the T. The apostrophe there stands for the O in between the N and the T. So it is the O that has been taken off and being replaced with an apostrophe. So we have haven't. Number 2, we have hasn't. 3, we have hadn't. 4, we have isn't. And then 5, we have don't. Good. Now let's look at this example of negative question sentences. So 1. You haven't seen Madam Eunice, have you? You haven't seen Madam Eunice, have you? And the answer is yes, I have, or no, I haven't. Number 2. Kofi hasn't eaten his food, has he? Kofi hasn't eaten his food, has he? And the answer is yes, he has, or no, he hasn't. Number 3. He hadn't said anything to his father, had he? He hadn't said anything to his father, had he? The answer is yes, he had, or no, he hadn't. Number 4. You don't know Junior, do you? You don't know Junior, do you? You don't know Junior, do you? And the answer is yes, I do, or no, I don't. Number 5. She isn't beautiful, is she? She isn't beautiful, is she? And the answers are yes, she is, or no, she isn't. So you see now, these kinds of questions, which is the positive question and the negative question, comes with these differences, where that of the negative have not or an apostrophe T added to the verbs. But in that of the positive, they do not have anything as such. So you see, this should be one of the things you should look out for when answering a negative or a positive question. You should always bear in mind that with that of the negative, it has a not or an apostrophe T added to the verbs, whilst with the positive sentences, with the positive questions, for them, they do not have any T added to the verbs when the question is being asked. It is only in the answer that we have NOT added to the verb if it is in a negative answer. So I hope now you enjoyed the lesson and you've learned a lot. You've gotten to be able to know what a question is. You've known the kinds of questions, which are the positive questions and the negative questions. You've gotten the meaning of both kinds of questions and their examples. And we believe that with this knowledge you have acquired, you will be able to answer questions based on these forms. Good. Now let's look at our evaluation for the day. Now, we are to answer the following positive questions using yes or no. We are to answer the following positive questions using yes or no. So let's read out the questions. Number 1. Do you go swimming every day? Do you go swimming every day? Do you go swimming every day? Number 2. Are they doing a test? Are they doing a test? Are they doing a test? 4. Are they from Britain? Are they from Britain? Are they from Britain? Now, from number 5 to number 8 are questions in the negative form. They are questions in the negative form. So you have to answer them using answers being given to negative questions. Good. Number 5. You haven't eaten, have you? You haven't eaten, have you? Number 6. Wasn't she here yesterday? Wasn't she here yesterday? Wasn't she here yesterday? Number 7. Won't you visit us tomorrow? Won't you visit us tomorrow? Number 8. She is working here. She is working here, isn't she? She is working here, isn't she? She is working here, isn't she? Good. So we have this list of questions ranging from number 1 to 8. You have to answer these questions and submit them on Friday as you did last week for us to mark. I believe you've learned a lot today and you are going to apply this in your daily English speech. Have a nice day and don't forget, keep yourself safe. If you don't have anywhere to go, stay at home. Be a good child and stay blessed. Hope to catch up with you on another lesson. Bye for now.